So this is just I'll make this very brief because it's as I say, it's just peripherally uses annotation, so I don't want to bore you too much, but it is important, I think, to understand a little bit about the context of the project. So we needed to, the United Nations Development Project does various outreach programs on electoral assistance, and they invited me to develop a methodology and a platform for the collaborative production of a lexicon of terminology about election terms. So the aim of this was to distribute it around inverted commas Arabic regions, and it should be in English and French and with 8 Arabic regional dialects. And previously they had done this through a process of the kind of legacy collaborative tool set which most publishers use today, which is Microsoft Word and email. But we sort of wanted to make something which was a little bit more engaging and enriching on the collaborative experience. So in April 2013, actually, not 2014, we met in Tunisia. We got together around a table, typical sort of United Nations style, and talked about what this lexicon had to be and what it should look like. And we developed I was commissioned to assist with the consultation on the collaborative methodology, right, the social processes, on top of a technical framework. And my personal process is always that the technology supports the social process, not the other way around. So we just started with the people, and what that means is that you have to develop a platform very quickly and iteratively, responding to their needs, not building a framework that you project on top of them. So the platform was really, it's a very simple platform, I'll show you, and we built it extremely quickly. So first of all, we gathered in Tunisia and we talked about the process of creating lexicons. It's a science in itself. And we built the software really, using available free software tools, putting it together as quickly as we could possibly do it, and then changing it responsively according to what people wanted and how the users were experiencing it. So if I can switch to my browser, I can just very, very quickly show you it. This is a software which is licensed open source, not yet distributed. It'll be distributed by the UN in June. We just want to clean it up. It looks really ugly, so I just wanted to apologize for that. But the point was just to get something usable. So this is the lexicon here. It's a very simple process. You have read and write options where you can either contribute content or you can read content and review it. And I'll show you some of if I just show you through here. This is the table of contents that I was just looking at. We have the opportunity to be able to add content to a chapter, and I'll show you how that works. But then we have the opportunity to comment on the very specific entries in the lexicon, approve them. This is a very, very simple interface, right? So you just press approve, and it's been approved by one person, and we can track that through stats. We know who's pressed approve, and we can tally it against who has not yet voted. And you can also add comments and things, right? So you can comment on every particular entry and whether it's appropriate a translation of an electoral term or not for the specific regional context. There's also discussions involved, which is not annotation, of course, but just want to say that the whole process was collaborative. So we wanted to open up as many channels for talking about these terms as possible. And I think that's one of the important things of this particular project, is not to dictate a specific route to solving these problems, but opening up as many flexible channels as possible to gather this information and letting the users use the ones that they feel most comfortable in. So I'll just very quickly, as I say, it's a very simple project. I'll first show you what adding a term might look like. The UX is pretty terrible, but you can just add a chapter. And what we have here is you can add a Visi chapter, which is a typical chapter that you would add, using a VisiVig editor, so you can actually type text in. But because this is a lexicon project, we had specific needs for, sorry, I just typed something in here. Specific needs for actually generating collaborative lists of lexicon items, right? So you can see on the table of contents here, you can either have Visi Editor, you can click on that and you can use a Visi Editor for editing stuff, or if you press Edit here, you can very simply add terms to a lexicon, and you can add them in Arabic, English and French. And also the interesting thing about this is built supporting sockets and concurrent connections, so many people can work on the same lexicon chapter and add terms, different terms, and you can see who's editing and adding stuff within your chapter. You're locking people out on an item per item basis, but you're working together in the entire scope of the chapter. Right, so that's just the basic context, and as I said, it's peripherally at the moment using annotation, and I'll show you that where it is if I go back to my dashboard. This is the actual lexicon here, and I can actually go to a review process, and I can go in here using Annotator and actually annotate the output. And this output is all HTML, of course, and we can immediately generate PDF from this, rendering PDF in the browser, which will be used for printing the book, but also for we can generate EPUB. But what's important here is that we're now taking the lexicon around the Arabic regions and workshops, and people who were not involved in the production process, inverted commas, can actually, in the workshops, read all these terminology, and they can very simply annotate the results. And so this is a way of going around and collecting feedback from people within those different regions to actually comment explicitly on the content, which is their translation of those terms. So it's a very, very simple process. It's very lightweight. Everything is built very simply. We built it very quickly, and very much enjoy using Annotator because it's a very lightweight framework and has a very, very simple UI, and it just makes it very easy for putting in front of people and saying, there you go, now annotate this. So yeah, apologies for it wasn't meant to be a platform demonstration, just wanted to give context to how annotation is used in this particular production environment. Thank you.